Hello, everybody. I hope everybody is having a happy Wednesday. I am Jessika, Jessica for Justice. And then I have my wonderful partner. Oh, can you not hear me? Ah! Oh, wait, I can. Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
My
it was
audio.
probably my fault. I had
Yeah,
the other YouTube thing on. My
you're fine.
AARP YouTube card hasn't come in the mail yet.
No, you're fine. I made sure I have. Sometimes my audio will default to something that I use for Twitch and Serato to DJ, and I don't know why it does that. It has nothing to do with audio. So, but it was fine. It was okay. So today's going to be a little bit different, and what I'm going to talk about today. Well, the person I'm going to talk about today also ties into what I want to talk about before we get started. So, unfortunately, the true crime world it's a very interesting one. It brings all different kinds of people. And a lot of people are involved because there's mystery, there's all the stuff that you can think of. It's better than the movies and you watch it, it's entertainment. Other people are people that help, people that want to help investigate, or, they're holding a space for the victims. There's all kinds of people that are in true crime. And what I'm learning is that it's very similar to when I was in dog rescue. There are some really insane people that get involved in services or things that make you feel good or things that are for other people. There was lots of crazy foster and rescue people, and so much so that I took a step back from dog rescue when I was in Miami because of those people. Well, unfortunately, it turns out that somebody like those dog rescue ladies has decided to target Raul and target Raul on our channel. So I want to say something to this person. Now, this catch justice, Raul did not want to be on screen. This was not something Raul wanted to do. This was my idea, and I wanted to work with Raul because of the work that he has done. Raul is a great person. If there is something that you've seen or you feel a different way about him, I am sorry that that's your experience, but that is not my experience nor anybody else that I know. By you creating dozens of accounts and commenting on our YouTube channel and slandering him, you're taking away from the victim stories that we're talking about. And you're taking time out of my day to remove these comments and to police a YouTube channel that is supposed to be for cold cases and to help people. So this person has created dozens of accounts, has made dozens of comments. So, I mean, if you want to keep watching and keep commenting and having up engagement, then hey, more power to you, I guess, if you have that much time on your hands. But if you have that much time on your hands, then, please start sharing some of these flyers and stuff of the cases that we're putting. Because by you doing this petty crap on YouTube, you are taking time away from families and victims that need it. I don't know what your personal vendetta is with Raul, but this is also my channel. This is also my project. So anything that you have to say about Raul, you're saying about me as well. If you have a problem with Raul, then you need to take that somewhere else. And I am definitely not okay with this person commenting constantly on the YouTube channel. So, and Raul didn't ask me to do this. He didn't even know I was going to do this. Uh, but I can't not say something because I log in and I see those comments because Raul and I share this YouTube channel. It's ours. It's both of ours. It's equally ours. So when you're saying derogatory things to him, you're saying them to me. And if you feel like you want to harass victims, murder victims' families and stuff, then clearly you are in the wrong, you're clearly in this space for the wrong reasons. So I'm going to need you to back off and take that shit somewhere else.
I can't express how much I love, adore, and am grateful for you. I feel bad that I sort of brought this baggage into this. The LISK communities have been notoriously combative. Many of other group admins are possessive, they're narrow minded, they aren't able to adapt their theories, their logic, or their awareness to embrace other perspectives or to consider anything other than their own narrative. And when you have a group or a large following, you have an obligation to be ethical, to be responsible, to be honorable for the truth, to be honorable to the victims, their legacies, and to their families. And all I ever wanted to do was differentiate myself and align myself with people that were like minded, that cared, that saw things bigger than a theory or some armchair detective with an opinion. I didn't have an opinion, and when I did, I left my opinions wide open. I changed my opinions. They were fluid as I learned, as I embraced, as I had conversations. Um, I was very hesitant, like you said, to do this, to even be more in the public realm. I hesitated it. I didn't relish it. And but because I knew so many facts, because I knew so much of the truths, that I felt an obligation to the people that I care about to stand up. And finding people like Jessika, Joe, Jay, Shannon, Tom and Allie, Dana, Lexi. I could go on, and someone's gonna get mad that I didn't mention them. But to embrace the people that pretty much came out of Twitter world, which was really something I never thought would happen. I went and dealt with trolls on Facebook. I went and dealt with trolls on Reddit. And in Twitter, of all places, I found a very healthy, thriving community of like minded people that matter, that their opinions matter, that their sensitivities mattered. And I felt at home and I felt embraced by that. And I am sorry that people have to come at me and sort of get to you because of me. And the only thing I can think of is because facts matter. Facts fucking matter. And I state them. And I'm objective and I try to be equitable. So thank you for standing up for me. You didn't have to. I was going to start off by asking, how are you doing this week? But clearly I can see now how you were dealing with this. And I'm sorry.
Oh,
But
no, no, no. I'm good. It just upsets me that somebody like has that much time on their hands to harass you and to say that like nobody has seen the things that were said other than myself. And it's very obvious that it is one person because multiple accounts say the exact same thing. And it angers me. Of course, it angers me because I consider you my friend and you did not want to do this. You did not want the attention. That was fully on me. So I want to make that clear that I had to talk Raul into this. This is not something that he wanted to do. It took me a little while to talk him into this. So I just want that person that has the issues out there to like know that like I don't know what perception you have of him, but it's wrong. And yeah, but we're going to encounter trolls, that we're going to encounter miserable people. It is what it is. I'm not going to let them stop us, and we're going to keep doing what we're doing. But I just want to set that, lined in the sand that, they're attacking you, they're attacking me. And, if that's something that they want to do, then, buckle up, Buttercup, because I'm not going to take it down, lay down and take it. Um, and that's so because of this happening, it made me think about a family that I know and what they were going through. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to discuss Liz Barraza tonight. Uh, this normally I want to reserve this time for cold cases that don't get that much attention. Liz Barraza's case was definitely a case of white woman syndrome. It got tons of attention. If you search her name, you will see thousands of videos made by creators. There's tons and tons and tons of videos. Now, I know the family. I know the victim's husband. I know the victim's parents. I've met siblings. I've even met the dog that I've met this family, and they are such beautiful, kind people. And not only did they lose somebody that they love in a horrific manner, but for the last 5 years, what happened to their loved one has been analyzed over and over and over and over. And the things that people come up with are just wild, the things that people come up with. And and some people may have good intentions, others may just assume ill will or these things. And we have to remember when we're looking at these cases from the outside looking in, there's only so much information that is public. And in this specific case, the FBI is involved. Texas Rangers are involved. Harris County is involved. So these are three separate departments that I don't think are going to miss the things that people are saying, like it's the husband, it's the husband, it's the husband. Every single time I talk about this case or post anything about it, I get comments, it's the husband, it's the husband, it's the husband. And, I get maybe from the outside looking in with the little snippets of information that you're getting, I could see why you would think that, but it's been 5 years. And the police have not found any motive at all whatsoever for her murder. Nothing. They were doing fine financially. Nobody was having an affair. They weren't fighting. They were saving up for their anniversary. They were saving up to go to Disney for their anniversary and planning that trip. So if the FBI, Texas Rangers, and the Harris County Sheriff's Office hasn't figured out that it's the husband 5 years later, it's probably not the husband unless he's he should work for the CIA level of, being able to get away with stuff because he's done a lie detector test. He has done all these things to try to clear his name. And there has been a lot of misinformation about this case. I was actually contacted on Facebook by somebody about, um, about this, and it was somebody that had created a TikTok account dedicated to these different cases and coming up with these wild theories and hurtful theories. And what I want people to remember is that each one of these cases, the murders that grip the nation. Right now, we have Delphini, we have the Idaho Four, we have these cases going on, and they're consuming the nation. And I think some people just get so caught up that they forget that these are real people. They're real people, real families. The husband sees the things that are said about him. He knows that on social he's hated, and if he ever says anything, if he does anything on social media, he has been attacked multiple times. All of his stuff is private. I don't blame him because he can't share anything. He's remarried and there's nothing wrong with that. It has been a few years since his wife's murder. He is allowed to remarry. If I had remarried, it doesn't mean that I don't love Austin any less. So the best place to get information about this case is who killed LizBarraza.com. The family made this website. This has all of the information on here. Now, this reward for this case is the second highest reward that I've seen. I saw one the other day for 250,000. This one is a $50,000 reward. And so the reason why there's so much speculation about this case, it is a weird one. I do understand why it sparked so much controversy, but we need to remember it's about Liz. This is about Liz and her family. And so Liz volunteered. She volunteered with the Peter Mayhew Foundation and she helped with fundraisers for starving children in Venezuela. She did cosplay in the children's hospital. When she passed away, or when she didn't pass away, when she was killed, Chewbacca, the gentleman that played Chewbacca, met with her family and they dedicated a wall in the children's hospital for Liz and the work that she's done. They have done so much in Liz's name and honor. And, Peter is now passed away, but he was able to help raise the reward for this. That's why it's $50,000. So I do have some videos to show. There are different angles. There is a security video across the street. And then there's also a video of the car after it was driving away. It's, again, it is a very weird case because she's setting up for a garage sale and this person just walks up. She says good morning and they just shoot her right in the head immediately. And this is very early in the morning. She was setting up for a garage sale. Her husband just left for work, and the vehicle was seen driving around earlier that evening. So they had cased out the neighborhood. And then we don't know if it's a man or a woman that walked up to shoot her. It looks like it could be somebody wearing a wig and like go-go boots or galoshes. It's also a very odd outfit. So people are thinking that, he was having an affair or, he wanted his wife murdered. There is some other stuff with the father. People suspect it's Sergio's father. They suspect either Sergio or his father. And then, so just so everybody knows, Liz's father and Sergio are still very close. So Liz's family is still very close with Sergio. So they don't suspect Sergio at all whatsoever. And if that's how her family feels, they know him better than anybody and have been around him. Yes, Shanka Bacon. They look like go-go boots or galoshes. It's a very weird outfit. So I'm going to play the nearly 5 years later videos first, and then I will play a video from the parents. And like I said, her parents are just the kindest, sweetest people ever. And they have been on Dateline. They've been on, I think, Nancy Grace. They've been on everything that you can think of. They have been on. And they have raised the reward to $50,000. Let's see, where is it? Here we go. So this video
morning, we are taking a further look.
No, that's not the video I want. Here we go. I have a timeline one. This will help explain it better because it is. And you'll see in the video how odd it looks. So something else I want to make people aware of is I know we get a lot of shares and views and internet likes and stuff when we share something shocking. Now, the news, when this first broadcast 5 years ago, the news aired the unedited footage of her being murdered. So it was just on that one airing. Her family didn't see it, but somebody recorded it. And her dad ended up stumbling across that video on a website. He had avoided the video, and he ended up being forced to see his daughter murdered in a video that he had avoided. And that's a really horrible thing for him to have to go through. And how dare the news do that as well? Yeah, so the news did that. So this family has been through a lot.
A new group of investigators are now on the case involving a woman shot and killed at a garage sale in Tomball. 29-year-old Elizabeth Barraza was killed on January 5th of 2019. To this day, no arrests have been made, but there is a $50,000 reward being offered. Tonight, we are taking a much closer look at this case, talking to everyone who was close to Barraza and the investigation. KPRC2's Coralie Peel shows us why detectives finally believe they are close to solving this murder.
Elizabeth Barraza's murder is still considered an open investigation. The lead investigator who was first on this case is now back on it with the help of several state and federal agencies. With so many hands in this case, Barraza's family and investigators are confident that her brutal murder will be solved. A fairy tale is how many described Elizabeth Barraza's life.
She had a really great life.
Oh,
She loved her life.
she just was funny, and she was just a joy to be around.
The 29-year-old, who many called Liz, was preparing for her 5th anniversary with husband Sergio Barraza.
We were going to Florida. Liz and I were both just simple, normal people that lived a good, simple life.
To make some extra pocket money for the trip, Liz planned a garage sale.
It was a normal day. She went and got Starbucks before the garage sale, got back to the house. I helped her set up the big items and then kissed her and said goodbye and left for work.
Once Sergio arrived to work, he and Barraza's parents received alerts on their phones.
My phone beeped to say that I had a message, so I checked it out, and it was a notification that her alarm had gone off.
So I started driving home, and as I was driving home, I was reviewing more and more of the ring door footage until I found or heard her scream and the gunshots in it, and it just, my world just stopped, right? My heart like skipped.
Barraza's family was greeted by a crime scene. Someone shot Barraza. She was rushed to the hospital where she died.
It's like a gut punch you can't imagine.
A neighbor's surveillance video became the biggest piece of evidence. Sergeant Michael Ritchie with homicide and Sergeant Jeff Thomas with the cold case squad were at the scene from day one.
My initial thought when I watched that video was I really thought I'm going to have this solved today.
It showed a possible black Nissan Frontier truck pulling onto the Barraza street moments after Sergio left.
So they were like waiting for me to leave, which is just insane.
In the video, the driver is seen approaching Liz's garage sale. The person appears to be in disguise, wearing a wig, long jacket, and tall boots. Within moments, they pull out a gun, shooting Barraza point blank several times. They get back in their truck and drive off. No one could identify the shooter.
I think they were definitely there stalking her. And I don't understand why. It's crazy.
Any indication that this could have been a hit?
It's possible. Just I felt like the person that did this, they had to have prior knowledge. It just wasn't, on a whim. I don't believe it was random.
Was the garage sale advertised?
It was only advertised via street signs. Like we had 2 little signs up, but anywhere else. It wasn't online, over any kind of website or anything like that, or social media, nothing. Nobody in my family really knew about it besides like my mom and her parents.
The Harry Potter and Star Wars fan had a squeaky clean image with no known enemies.
On this case here, everybody I've talked to, the family, there's been not one person that said that Liz had a bad bone in her body.
So who would want to kill her? Over the years, many people pointed the blame at her husband.
How does that make you feel when you see people pointing the blame at you?
It hurts me. It's sad.
Sergio has since remarried, but still has Diesel, the dog he shared with Liz, and small memories of her in his home.
Did you have anything to do with Liz's murder?
No, ma'am. I would never do anything like that. We had the best relationship. Why would I ruin that?
Now, nearly 5 years later, the Texas Rangers, the FBI, and Texas Anti-Gang Unit have joined in on the case.
What do you think it will take to crack this case?
It's going to take that one person that's not nervous about talking about it anymore. Relationships change. Someone knows something.
Sergeant Thomas says with the added agency's expertise and resources, they can further examine evidence and jump on new leads that have them closer than ever to solving the case.
They may have succeeded in killing her, but she's still a force to be reckoned with and continues to do good throughout this world.
Investigators have gathered new evidence in this case. They couldn't say what that evidence is because this is an ongoing investigation, but they're following up on tips nationwide. And there is a $50,000 reward for any information that can lead to an arrest. To see the full timeline of Elizabeth Barraza's murder, we have that on our website at click2houston.com. Corley Peel, KPRC 2 News.
So something else that has been set up in Liz's legacy is getting copies of Harry Potter, the Harry Potter series in like children's hospitals and things like that. One of her friends set it up. It's on the Liz Barraza, who killed LizBarraza.com website. But this is an example. They're trying to do stuff in her honor. There's these challenge coins and stuff that they've done in her memory. There's a lot of people out there that are in a lot of pain who miss her. She was truly a good person through and through. Like they said, not one person could say that there was a bad bone in her body. And I know that the true is not same for me. I know that somebody somewhere doesn't like me. I know that I have some enemies and stuff like that. I know if the police interviewed a bunch of people, somebody's not going to like me, or people know that I'm not a perfect angel. But this is multiple agencies are involved in this. And between all of them, they're not going to miss something as simple as the husband did it. And, just because the husband is remarried does not mean he doesn't love Liz. And you saw Liz's parents. I love Bob. Bob is such a kind, sweet, gentle giant. Just thinking about this and seeing him, I just want to give him a hug. I hope I'll get to see him. I'm going to cry. We almost made it. I hope that I get to see him at the next meeting because I haven't got to see him in a couple months. But you can see where Liz got it from, because both of her parents are just such wonderful. Even the way that they speak is soothing and soft, and some people are just like that, but yeah, that's all I have for today. I just wanted to share a case that is very special. I wanted to share a person with you guys that's very special to me, and I feel like I have really gotten to know Liz through her family the last few years, and all I ask for creators is to be respectful. It's okay to wonder if the husband did it. That's understandable, but jumping on social media, calling him a murderer, calling him all sorts of names and things like that, is not okay. Brooklyn, right? There is no motive. That's the problem. They didn't steal anything. They were not in financial struggles. There was no affairs. There was no marital discourse. There is literally no motive. Nothing. The husband did not have a girlfriend. They were happy. Like everything was fine. They were getting ready for their 5-year anniversary at Disney, and they both had good credit. It's not like they gambled or had some secret life or anything like that. Maybe a mistaken identity. That's literally the only thing that fits. But for somebody to have done the work that they did with like double checking and all that stuff, who knows? I really don't know what the answer is at this point, but please share, and then I will let Raul get to his person.
These lives that we share, they really impact, and even me sitting here listening to you share this for the first time, and I think I told you earlier today that I'll go back and watch only your segment of the episodes, so that I can really concentrate on what you were sharing and really get to understand, the impact that they had on you, how they mattered to their loved ones. And that's where I go back and watch the show, and then I just check for troll comments. But to see how the impact of these lives affect people like us, and so many in the chat, is so profound. And yeah, there's something to be said for Jay and the crying gum, because we need some sort of marketing on that, because it's the only way to survive getting through some of this stuff. And it's really challenging. I'm already going to, before I even give my little thing, I do want to acknowledge some of the new stickers I have behind me. Of course, there's J-Bo Nation, but there's a very special one to me. It's this one, and it's from Light the Way, and it says, "Victim exploitation does not equal victim advocacy," and that is so important in being an ethical content creator. Oh, those last two words really just irk me, but it is so important to be ethical, to share information and family with the care model that came from Julie Murray, and it really just resonates with this, as I said earlier, this little community of really honest and genuine, authentic people that care about the truth, that care about the victims, that care about their legacy, and that care about their families. And that's forever. That's long lasting. I also have from Season of Justice, I have a couple of stickers from them. And this sticker solves cold cases. That rocks. That really does rock. And I'm just blessed that, as my circle expanded to encompass people like Jessika, and Light the Way, and so many other people, it's incredibly humbling, and it does carry a burden. And part of carrying that burden is who I'm going to talk about tonight. And when I say carry a burden, I don't mean it in a detrimental way to the person, to the family, to their story. It's just that for people like me that have an overabundance of empathy, it makes the next 20 minutes incredibly hard for me to get through. So I'm going to try, and I'm going to share with you Tina Foglia. So bear with me, because this is going to be hard. So we'll all get through it together. We can start. Whew, okay, I'm sorry. I want to talk about Tina Elizabeth Foglia and who she was as a person. Tina loved music. She loved art. She was independent and empowered. She had a very caring soul. She worked as a home health care aide. But those were was. Tina is still loved. Tina is very missed deeply by her family. Ooh. That's a slightly enhanced image of Tina that just brought out some of the vibrancy in her. Tina had hitchhiked from her home in Brentwood, about 4.5 miles away from the Hammerheads music venue, to see the band Equinox. This was a Queens, New York band. There was a whole underground music circuit that was incredibly vibrant. It went from L'Amour's in Brooklyn that I used to always go to Danceteria in New York City, where Madonna, found her fame. I'm not going to get into my club scene stories because I don't remember most of them, but the Hammerheads venue, so hard because I haven't been there. It's you feel even closer. All right, so Tina went and hitchhiked about 4.5 miles away from her home to the Hammerheads music venue to see the band Equinox. Hitchhiking kind of was a thing back then. Despite a warning from her sister, Tina most likely hitchhiked to the venue. We all seem to have done it at some point. For a future episode that's still in development, I'll probably share the life and disappearance of a 17-year-old girl named Janice Fulham, who vanished one night not too far from where Tina lived. But that's still in the works, and talking with the family on that. Still hard. Hammerheads was a local Long Island hotspot for music bands like Twisted Sister that got their start there, and teens and young adults flocked there for a night of music and dancing. Tina, like all of us back then, loved the music scene and the bands that came to town to play. Tina herself had a true gift of singing, and her dad, he wanted her to go to singing school, if there was a thing, for more formal training. He says that Tina had a wonderful voice. I'm just going to break away for a second to share my screen on this because I wanted to just give some perspective on the area. And hold on for a second, guys. I'm sorry. Here we go.
Oh,
I think
you're fine.
I'm getting better at this.
Look at that. You did it.
I did it. So this is where Tina lived at the time. She hitchhiked from here to this place. This is Hammerheads. It's about 4.5 miles away from her home. Now it gets hard. All right. So Hammerheads was located on Sunrise Highway. This is Sunrise Highway right here across this. Let me move it up so you can see it's the center of the page. Sunrise Highway bisects Long Island pretty much in half for the whole scope of Long Island. It goes right from here to here across the way. It is also perpendicular to several important parkways. This right here is the Meadowbrook Parkway. This is the Wantagh Parkway. And right here is the Robert Moses Causeway. And you can see the one thing in conjunction to all of that. This is Ocean Parkway and Gilgo Beach. Now I want to just go back to what I was showing you here. Okay, back here. I'm not as smooth yet, but I'm getting there. So please just bear with me. Tina was last seen at approximately 3 a.m. on the morning of February 1st, 1982, near the exit of Hammerheads, and that would be right around here. By Wednesday, February 3rd, however, she wasn't home. She didn't make it home that night. She didn't make it home the next night. On the 3rd, Tina's family officially reported her as missing. And I just want to get past this. This is sort of a trigger warning for anyone that, for family and for anyone that might find a slight description of the scene triggering. Please pause, mute, turn away, take a moment to breathe, and then come back. On the same day that Tina's family reported her missing, February 3rd, 1982, New York State Department of Transportation highway workers cleaning debris along the westbound ramp that connects the Southern State Parkway to the Sagicos Parkway discovered 3 plastic bags. One bag had disarticulated arms within it. The second bag had disarticulated legs within it. And the third had a torso inside. This is some of the news reports of the day. By the time law enforcement was able to identify Tina, they had already been investigating all the people in her life. Several male acquaintances were interviewed. Many of the men interviewed willingly gave their DNA samples. We learned from Tina's sister that she had been seeing a person Tina described as a doctor. Quote, she said she met a doctor, that they met at Hammerheads, and that he took her out a couple of times and that she really liked him a lot. But he was never named by Tina and has remained unknown to this day. He has never come forward as far as the public is aware of. There is some evidence that was recovered at the scene. What you're looking at now is a footprint that was embedded in the dirt. The autopsy report that was conducted and filed by Suffolk County Chief Deputy Medical Examiner Dr. Michael Bodden indicated that Tina died as a result of asphyxia by smothering, meaning that her nose and mouth were covered or blocked. Pertaining to the dismemberment, it was noted by one source that a more precise instrument might have been used. There is foreign male DNA that was recovered from the scene. This offers hope, as familial genetic genealogy, or FGG, might be able to trace back to a suspect, much in the way that it did in the brutal murder of Eve Wilkowitz from a couple of years prior. This is the footprint, like I said, that was left in the dirt that was recorded. There was also a diamond ring that was given to both Tina and her sister by her dad that she wore all the time, which was missing, as was her clothing. So what are the next steps? With the arrest and indictment of Rex Heuermann, and I despise saying that name, who is the alleged Long Island serial killer, or LISK, in the murders of Maureen Brainerd Barnes, Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman, Amberlynn Costello, and an obvious suspect in the murders and dismemberments of Karen Vergata, Peaches, Valerie Mack, Jessica Taylor, and including Toddler, Peaches' daughter, and Asian Doe, among others. Renewed attention for Tina is undoubtedly happening. We know that the task force is committed. We know that their mandate means something to them. And I have every confidence that every avenue is being explored. And then I have hope that we'll find out something for Tina and her family. On a possible future showcase, we might examine the possible connections to LISK and many other potential victims. But because I'm so proud to work with Jessika on a victim-centric platform, that I don't know if I'll ever be able to do that. But we'll see how that goes. I wanted to thank a couple of people that helped. Research support and credit shared with True Crime, Gilgo Case, the Uncovered website, and my friend, the Odd Stops website, and I'll drop their links over the next few minutes into the chat. Their insight, their research, their care, their dedication is so powerful and important to forward the information and the knowledge about Tina. I'm going to share in a moment a video that was taken from the Tina Foglia website. It's about 4.5 minutes long, so I apologize for it, but I don't. I just want to take a moment to truly thank Tina's family for allowing me, for giving me the trust to share this with their permission, their endorsement, and their appreciation. I am so humble by it. You're going to see some of these images in the next in the little slide that's going to come next in the little show video. These are some cleaned up images, but I'm going to share this now, and I am sorry to make you all cry, but I did, and I have been, and I just need to see if I can find the right one. So please give me a second. Oh man, I should have had this ready. I think I have it. Okay, here we go.
these young people are taken, before they get to really truly live life. Because, 19, she was 19 years old, you'd said. Yeah, it's because I think of like my 20s and my 30s, and it's like she deserved those times too. And some Ned Smith said in the chat, she was robbed of her life. Pisses me off. She'd be around 62 today. And it is so unfair that she didn't get to, live her 20s and 30s, 40s, 50s. But that really was a beautiful tribute. And I thought her smile was just so big and beautiful, and she looked like she loved being on stage and singing, and she looked very happy.
Thank you for giving me a few minutes to get this ridiculous lump out of my throat. It was hard. She deserved it, and her sister and her cousin deserve her life to be shared for who she was and is. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing her with us. I'm really hoping that 2024 is going to be that year of justice. There's so many unsolved cases, and both of these young women deserved to still be here and living life and all that. Liz would be in her 30s now. She never got to turn 30. She's forever 29. Austin was killed at 30. And that's something that, I think about all the time, because for me, I thought 30s were even better than my 20s, and 20s were pretty cool. It's just you're much more reckless in your 20s, and you tend to have more money in your 30s. But I hate that. I hate that so much. But you did mention that there was DNA that was found. So hopefully there will be, a match or a family match or something that's coming up soon with these constant changes with technology.
Yeah, I do hope to revisit this with great news in the future. I never, prod family members for information like that. It's not my place. It's not my business. And I am confident, like I said, that the task force is doing everything that they can, that Suffolk County is doing everything that they can, that the state police are doing everything that they can. And eventually, a case will be brought against the guilty party, whoever they may be. And yes, there are so many. And, I don't necessarily mean to imply that all of these are, LISK related. Their lives are separate from the tarnish of LISK. They are beautiful in their own right, and they should be showcased as such. And that's why all of you really didn't plead that much to get me to do this with you. You asked, and I said yes. Like, it was just that simple. I'd be honored to work with you, of course. So, sharing them with you, with the audience, with the public, with people that may never have known about any of them is so important to me. And being a part of any type of advocacy for any of them is truly a blessing and a gift, and I'm honored to be able to share that. And like I said at the beginning before I started presenting, it's a burden, but it's an honor. And at the end of the day, it's way more of an honor than it ever is a burden. And I'm grateful for you, Jess. I'm grateful for the victims and their families. I'm grateful for our incredible mods. I'm grateful for the researchers that I work with or communicate with or rely upon and get motivation from. And I'm just going to break away for a second and just talk about what comes up at 7 p.m., which is another case that has become so important to me, to watch and follow and participate in. And that's the Seeking Justice podcast, which is the story of Dawn Pasella and what went on there. And if you're not familiar with it, follow I'm sure someone will drop a link in a moment, but it's the Seeking Justice. You'll see it on YouTube. It follows us right after that, or find it on our thing. Someone will put it in there. Justice for Dawn Pasella is a priority. She deserves it. The people around her that love and support her deserve it. And a huge, monstrous injustice has been done to her. And I'm going to stop talking. Jess, you can go on.
That's I did share the link a couple times. So if you guys want to join us over at Seeking Justice shortly after this, I wish that we could just portal, but we can't portal until we're monetized. And Brooklyn is asking how can they directly help? I know one of the things that will help me is sharing some of the flyers and sharing our channel and sharing these stories. I am posting the reward flyers and stuff on my Twitter and then putting it on the Catch Justice, because I pay for my Twitter account to be able to type so much and I'm so used to it. It's really hard for me to shrink it down on the other one. But that's all I have for today. Is there anything else that you wanted to say tonight?
Yeah, I think if anyone wants to help, there's so many ways, from even just getting your DNA submitted, uploaded to GEDmatch, make it accessible. You never know what justice you could be serving, not only now, contemporary, but in the future. And it is so important. There are so many cases and people and stories and lives and unidentified that need to be given back their names, and families that need understanding, never closure, because it'll never happen, but understanding. And they need the love and the attention. And I'm going to stop because it's 7:00.
Yes, no, you're so very right. And yeah, you can help in so many different ways. Get your DNA tested. You can get it done first at 23andMe, and then you can upload it to GEDmatch. Do the genealogy thing. It's fun. I did the 23andMe and the health test, and I learned a bunch of stuff about my DNA. Like, who knew I was prone to anxiety? Duh. And prone to insomnia. Some stuff I knew, others I didn't. And I do have the gene that makes cilantro taste like soap. I finally have confirmation that that is true. So definitely get 23andMe, upload your DNA. I've already warned my family. If anybody's a serial killer, I'm uploading my DNA to GEDmatch. So hopefully none of you are. Or if you've done something horrible, I don't care. You're going to prison. I will turn you in. And, share the cases, share the flyers, talk about the cases that nobody else is talking about. Just having that conversation, sharing the information. You never know who has the answers. So, share away, share the information. And I very much appreciate you guys hanging out with us and giving us the support. I'm going to share the link one more time for Seeking Justice in the chat. So head over there. They're about to get started. And we will see you guys again next week. Thank you again. I love you all.
Love
Goodbye.
You. Bye.